watch says 9:30. We get stopped.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Well, there was a long game, Coach.
Was it? Is that right?
Get a test on that. Less stoppages.
34. Yeah, we foul a lot. Tremendous amount of credit to North Carolina Central. There's a reason they're an NCAA tournament team. They're extremely well coached. They're extremely well prepared. And I like his team. I like him. I've got a lot of respect for LaMelo and the job he's done, and he repeatedly gets that team back in the tournament. So, and he's done a great job of staying old with this team. So, they were the aggressor. We got on our heels. That was very evident by the rebound numbers, and I thought Tijon was really the sole reason that we made a run to start the second half. His defensive pressure, his sliding around, his communication was a big part of it. Again, he had another great night, sharing the ball, 6 assists, 1 turnover, and for that matter, Mark Allstork didn't shoot it worth 2 hoops, but 5 assists, no turnovers, and then Trent Frazier had 4 assists as well. Part of my responsibility is to make sure that these guys are dialed in mentally, not just physically, and I let them down today. I didn't do a very good job of making sure that we were prepared to play this game emotionally, and that was, I think, evident by the way our freshmen played and their lack of productivity. You got one of the country's leading free throw shooters, and Mark Smith, going 1 for 4. That's focus, and that's my job is to make sure that they're dialed in. But great game from Fink, shooting it great. We need more from him on the offensive glass. And then I thought LeBron, 12 and 8, and we didn't get in the ball near enough in the zone, and that was evident. But and then Aaron was Aaron. The correlation between showing up in the gym every day and getting extra shots, and then having success on the court. You make a poster of him. He's the poster boy for work and hard work paying off on the court. And, I want him shooting every ball. I think the only one he missed was the one he got blocked, and he's running it at a pretty high level right now. And every time he shoots it, I sure think it's going in, and we want him to continue that.
Questions?
Brett, I heard you say on the radio that you got to coach it out of these guys that when adversity hits, they kind of go into a shell.
Press breaker.
Yeah, have you had that before, and how do you coach that out of a team?
Yeah, we went through it last year. Not playing to lose and playing to, and I'll be honest. I got mad at Michael for taking a shot, a 3, really quick 3. We had a layup that we fumbled it, Tijon fumbled it, and we kicked it out. And so I've been really barking at Fink to be aggressive and shoot the ball. So we did. And yet, now we've got to understand the time and score, and we haven't spent enough time on that. We worked all day yesterday on the press break, and all of a sudden, we ran it right one time, right down the sideline, middle guy broke, we threw a bounce pass because he broke out, we got a dunk. Just like it's supposed to. And we do it great in practice. Great. And when you see things done well in practice, and then all of a sudden you get in the game, and you just, and you can't do that. And we're getting much better. Believe me, we are 100 times better than we were. And it's playing the way that you know the game has to be played, with the effort that it has to be played, and expecting the right outcome. And we went through it last year, and we're getting better. I called a play. I had Trent in the game and Tijon, and called a little play against the zone. And everybody knows what the play is. It's really simple. And yet, and again, it's freshman. Trent didn't know it because he hadn't played particularly in that spot a lot. We got to get through that. And it's a simple play. Everybody should know it. Everybody should be able to run every spot. And for the most part, most of our guys can. But it's confidence. It's expecting to do the right things and make the right plays, and no lead is safe and no deficit is too big, and we've got to continue to play that way.
Well, you mentioned that NC Central was the aggressor, and I imagine that runs counter to what you want. Was that part of the halftime discussion? And do you feel like maybe the start of the second half that Tijon was able to flip that a little bit?
Yeah, he took complete control. He took control of the locker room. He took control of the. There wasn't anything. I didn't need to do anything X and O wise. That's why we came out with 7.5 or 8 minutes on the clock. I didn't need to. And I just told our coaching staff, I said, we're going to find out who will lead, and we're going to find out who will fight, and if we want to keep accepting getting whipped, then we'll get whipped. And at some point there's got to be some pride, and nobody likes to get in the ring and keep getting jabs thrown at you. Eventually, one of them's going to knock you out, and. Tijon stepped up, and I thought LaRon stepped up, but Tijon was driving that bus, and I was really excited to see that.
20 assists on 28 made field goals. Just how huge was that for you guys in the second half to really take the lead, and take control?
Well, I love 20 assists on 28 field goals. What I don't like is we've got to go get those ones because there's, what do we shoot? 28 of 62, so how many, that's 30, how many misses is that? How many misses do we have?
34.
34? So we only got, 9 offensive rebounds? We're averaging 38% of our misses back. So instead of having 20 assists on 28 field goals, I would much rather have 20 assists on about 35 field goals, and that means we're getting 7 easy ones off offensive rebounds, that we're not facing that defense, and that's what I'm upset about. Is we've got to become that team. When offense is hard and teams are good, you've got to find a way to get easy baskets. And the other thing I'm not overly thrilled about is 29 attempts from the 3, but can't do that on the run.
Admittedly, Coach, I don't have the full sample size of the Brad Underwood sideline experience just yet, but you seemed very, very vocal, very into it from the start tonight. Did you sense something?
No question. No question. I knew all day. I knew how good they are. I know how hard they play. I know it was a big game for them. And I just sensed. I've been doing it long enough. I just got a feel. And we weren't sharp, overly sharp in shoot around today. And let's be honest. I mean, we do that in Big Ten play, we're losing. Doesn't matter who we play. We do that in Big Ten play, we're losing. And I'm not very. I tried to fight for him a little bit, and yet get on him. And our freshmen, I thought, first time all year, I didn't think they gave us much off the bench other than Aaron. Kipper got going a little bit in the second half, but and give them credit, give them a kill us. But I felt it, and that's a feeling I don't care for much.
Brad, obviously bigger test next week. How prepared do you think your team is for what's coming next week?
Well, we're 6-0, so I think we're prepared. I think that we've been on the road. We've scrimmaged Vanderbilt. We went to Eastern and have seen hostile crowds and did all that. We're going to see. I think they won today. Danny had them in the NCAA tournament, and it'll be a big boy game. And as we head into 2 Big Ten games, so I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's time to take the next challenge and move the pro and see what we do. And I think our average margin of victory is close to 19 or 20 or something like that. One's coming up, aren't going to be like that. So we're going to have to learn to grind and fight and execute.
In the first half, after Brandon Cruz whistled coach's box violation, you made a comment to him about a horrible rule. Do you remember?
Yeah. No, it's a judgment. He was out of the box. It's a point of emphasis this year. But I'm going to start utilizing that rule to my benefit now. Late shot clock, and I can't comment on it. But the rule itself is late shot clock. There's no reset. So just step out of the box and get a warning with short shot clock, and there's no reset. Now you got to slide out of bounds, and you can change defense, and you can do all sorts of things. And I'm not a very big fan of that rule, but it worked for them, and we didn't handle it very well. I think it's got to be a judgment. You can call it at the end of the possession, in my opinion, but not with a short shot clock.
Coach, you seem to really, your eyes light up when you talk about Aaron Jordan. You had a kid at Oklahoma State last year, Jeffrey Carroll, who really blossomed in his one season under you. Do you see parallels with him at all, or two different kind of players?
Similar. Yeah, I think, yeah, they're pretty similar. I think it was 17, 18 games before I actually started Jeff. For a lot of the same reasons, I'm continually hounding AJ on the defensive end as I did JC, but I think he played himself into one of the biggest turnarounds in college basketball last year, and AJ's, and I love his productivity off the bench. There's a big, you hear the other coaches screaming and barking when he comes in, and know where he's at. That's impactful. So, but yeah, there's a lot of similarities right now.
Coach, you guys get out rebounded tonight. Is that just because of lack of presence on the offensive glass, or do you feel like you guys struggle with control the rebound on the other end?
Both. I mean, give them the credit. Give Central the credit. I mean, they went. They challenged us. They whipped us. They deserve to. Out rebound us tonight.
It seems like there's been a lot of foul calls both ways. You guys drawing fouls and also committing fouls. 53 fouls tonight. Is there something that's different? What do you attribute that to?
Man, you're trying to get me in trouble.
You can afford it.
I think we're one of the top 5 teams in the country. You're close to it in terms of free throw attempts and fouls drawn, maybe. And we try to play that way. The way the rules are today, the lane is extremely challenging. The paint is extremely challenging to defend because the rules are not to allow secondary defenders to do much. And but a majority of I don't say majority, some of our fouls were not very intelligent. Those are the ones I need to try to eliminate.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.